all eyes will be on earnings this week, isn't it?
That's right, Ashesha. Very good morning to you, first of all. Now, let's take a look at, how the Wall Street fared last week. All the major averages are still near their record high, though they did end the week on a negative note. The S&P 500, that dipped about 0.3%, its first negative week in 3. The Dow, that fell more than 1%, breaking a 3-week win streak as well. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq Composite, that inched down by 0.08%, snapping its 3-week winning streak. Now, let's take a look at how the markets performed just on Friday. Now, the S&P 500, that declined about 0.3%, the Nasdaq, that declined about 0.2%, whereas the Dow, that slipped nearly 280 points. Meanwhile, the US equity futures, they have been trading lower as Wall Street contends with continued tariff risk and second quarter earnings on the deck. Now, on Saturday, President Donald Trump said that US will impose 30% tariffs on European Union and Mexico starting August 1st. The markets are expected to react to this development first. Now, leaders of the EU and Mexico, they've indicated that they intend to keep talking with the Trump administration this month in an attempt to agree on a lower rate. Now, the announcement comes just ahead of the inflation reading that is also due this week, which will give investors a better sense of how these tariffs, some of which are already in effect, are being felt through the economy. Now, other than that, earnings season, as you pointed out earlier, is set to ramp up later in the week. Major banks, including JP Morgan Chase, will deliver quarterly reports starting Tuesday. Another potential factor for investors to monitor is the rift between the Trump administration and the Federal Reserve. So these are all the factors that we are tracking this week after ending the last week on a slightly negative note. But how are things looking on the crude front, Ashesha?
Brent crude is absolutely steady today morning. It is sitting with an uptick of nearly 0.2% as we speak, currently trading near that $70 per barrel mark. But remember, it gained nearly 2.5% in Friday's trading session and ended last week with gains of nearly 3%. So that's the kind of move that we've seen in the oil market last week. Although today it is absolutely steady, and as I mentioned, it is trading near that $70.5 per barrel mark. But remember, several factors continue to impact the oil market and the yellow metal market. US President Donald Trump has announced tariff on European Union and Mexico, and this continues to weigh heavy on demand outlook for the energy market going forward, and that is precisely the reason oil continues to remain steady. Let's